Hello, lovely students. Welcome back to Earth School, where class is always in session. For those of you who are new here, I'm your headmistress, Karen Sheridan, and today's lesson is all about the bullies on the playground. If any of you have ever tangled up with narcissists, bullies, manipulators, just even your garden variety energy thieves, then this class is for you. Because before we can raise our vibration, we have to stop letting others siphon it. Bullies and their grown-up cousins, the narcissists, rely on illusion. They want you to believe that you can't live without them. But gaslight is not sunlight, and energy vampires hate bright lighting. So let's talk about how you can keep your frequency fluorescent. Listen, I'm all about the laughs, but freeing yourself from toxic people is no joke. And this lesson stands beautifully on its own, but it's actually the start of a little three-part arc. So today we're going to name the bullies and start breaking free from them. Next week, we will scrub away those energetic fingerprints they left in Spiritual Hygiene 101. And after that, we'll take a field trip to the Carousel, where we'll remember who we were before anyone told us otherwise. So consider this your foundation in freedom, because you can't protect your peace unless you know who's disturbing it. And you can't walk in the light if you're still shadowboxing with someone else's darkness. And I know those empowering words make it sound, if not easy, then doable. Inspirational, yes, but when you're in the thick of it day to day living with your narcissist, it seems impossible. But don't feel alone. I was right there with you. I've debated how much of my story to share with you. On the one hand, I think it's really important that you see yourself in my story so you can see that it's possible to break away, no matter how desperate and bleak it seems. On the other hand, revisiting those stories over and over again keeps us in victim mode, and we're breaking free from that, right? And then on the other hand, and yes, for those who are counting, I know that's 3 hands, just roll with it. Being involved with a bully has nothing to do with them and everything to do with us. Giving them any airtime at all is giving them more energy than they deserve. And they've already taken so much that every extra breath on their name is oxygen taken from your own flame. Enough of that. So while I won't go into the details, I will tell you this. I felt hopeless. No matter the raised eyebrows or kind inquiries from friends about why I didn't leave my narcissist, I couldn't see my way out. It seemed hopeless. I thought the only way my life could change was if he changed. And so I waited for 16 years. And of course, he never changed. Why should he? It wasn't that he couldn't change, it was that he didn't have to if I kept doing his homework for him. During those years, I rode a roller coaster of emotions that turned into a never-ending carousel ride that eventually numbed all my senses and just my sense in general. Codependency is emotional quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. I kept fixing his leaks while my own house flooded. Then one day I finally understood. Leaving wasn't the betrayal. Staying was. Walking away was the loudest prayer I ever prayed. And Spirit was leading me every step of the way. Because one of the biggest lessons God has tried to teach me over this past year is that I am worthy of love. And no one can erase that worth, even when I'm doing my damnedest to hand them the eraser. I learned that my needs are sacred. and that my wholeness is no longer up for debate. I learned that walking away is walking towards yourself. And spoiler alert, that's the best way to deal with the narcissist, walking away. So what does walking away actually look like? Let's talk about the steps, because inspiration is great, but strategy sets you free. Now, before you object and start listing a litany of reasons why, or even one big reason why you can't break away, I want you to give yourself some grace. Stop for a minute, take a deep breath, get your mind quiet, relax your shoulders. Go ahead, I will wait for you. Okay, good. For most of us, walking away seems impossible because we've been conditioned to believe it is. Codependency is like Stockholm syndrome. You start defending your own captor. They've trained you to apologize for bleeding on their barbed wire. You don't stay because it's love. You stay because chaos feels like home. Or maybe you stay because leaving would prove how long you've lied to yourself. Take your pick. For most of us, we mistake being needed for being loved. My own breakthrough came when I heard a line from a tarot reader, I'll link to her below, who said, "When you're not fed love with a silver spoon, you learn to lick it off knives." Yeah, ouch. Cue much sobbing and curling into a fetal position for hours while I tried to work that one out. But it cracked something open. Because I never learned what real love looked or felt like as a child, I learned to lick it off knives, to accept harmful behavior as normal, because it was the only way I knew to feel wanted. This healing journey taught me what love is by showing me what it wasn't. It begins and ends with learning to love yourself. But before we can walk away, we have to learn what hooked us, why we stayed. Because if we don't do that, the cycle will just continue. Sometimes it's just our big hearts wanting to help those we love. You think you're helping, but you're volunteering to be gravity for someone else's fall. It's like trying to dance with someone who won't hear the music, and you blame yourself for stepping on toes. A big part of the lesson is remembering you can't walk your own path if you're busy sweeping theirs. And then finally comes the turning point. Something happens, some realization happens, and you realize you've been handing out the hall passes to your own mistreatment. You realize that every apology for their behavior is another brick in your own cage, and that's it. You are done. Walking away isn't betrayal, it's graduation. You're not cold, you're calm. You don't teach a bully manners, you model self-respect. Your peace is the recess bell that ends their game. Leaving the playground doesn't mean you lost, it means you outgrew it. Every no to them is a yes to yourself. And healing isn't about winning, it's about walking away without resentment and forgiving yourself for having been in that situation in the first place. It does not matter how they feel about it. They're not going to like it. But they'll never see your side. It doesn't fit in their mirror. Every time you try to explain yourself to a manipulator, you're just giving them new material. At some point, you stop begging for peace and you start building it. You start loving yourself enough to start saving yourself, to walk away and start building something new, something that feels like peace. Whew! That was a big one, class. You did beautifully. And don't worry, if you have any after effects from this class, next week in Spiritual Hygiene 101, we're going to learn how to scrub off every last energetic fingerprint that those bullies left on your energetic field. So your homework for now is just to take care of yourself. You deserve kindness. You deserve gentleness. And if you don't have anyone right now that can give you that, give it to yourself. And then when you feel ready, come back and listen to this video again. Start the introspection process. Start looking at why you're in the cycle and what steps to break free. All right? Whew, all right. We really need some recess now. So class, stand up, shake it out, dance it off, and remember, leaving the playground is not losing, it's winning your freedom. Here's the recess anthem. Hit it.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.